ladies and gentlemen, my name is Curtis Axel, and I will be your next perfect Intercontinental Champion. Because by the time Vengeance comes around, I will be the #1 contender for that Intercontinental title. And after the pay-per-view, Christian will no longer be walking out with the gold. However, tonight, since we still have a while to go until Vengeance, because for some reason the title can't be defended at Capital Punishment, even though I already hold a victory over the champion, which therefore should put me in the #1 contender spot. Instead, I've been given an opponent from John Laurinaitis. I don't know who he has planned out there, but he says it should be another big surprise like he pulled the other week on Raw. But nothing can surprise me. I'm Curtis Axel. I'm the son of Mr. Perfect Kurt Hennig. There is no way whoever John Laurinaitis has planned to send out at me, there is no way he can defeat me. So whoever is making their surprise return, go ahead, come out to this ring and challenge me, because whoever you are, you're going to fall to perfection. And this is a shocking development here. It's Curtis Axel. We heard that John Laurinaitis had a surprise opponent for the third-generation superstar here, as Curtis Axel went over his heritage, and he told whoever would come out that he would be able to beat them. And now I'm not too sure if Curtis Axel isn't second-guessing his past statements, as we saw Rob Van Dam making his return to the WWE 13 Universe mode with those kicks to the face of Curtis Axel. Rob Van Dam we haven't seen. I believe his last appearance was in that World Heavyweight Championship tournament against Edge, and that was over 50 episodes ago. So it's been a while since we've seen Rob Van Dam. And what is this? Nice German suplex off the top rope. And RVD looking to go high flying with a 450 connects on a Curtis Axel. And Rob Van Dam making one hell of a return. Nobody expected RVD to be here tonight. And John Laurinaitis again making a pretty sweet what am I saying? John Laurinaitis making another surprising acquisition for the WWE. First it was Brian Cole on Raw, and now here on Smackdown it was Rob Van Dam. Who knows what else John Laurinaitis has in store for the WWE Universe here. But anyway, Curtis Axel, he was not prepared to face a guy like RVD. I don't know what kind of preparation you could do, though, not knowing your opponent. So Curtis Axel, I'd have to say RVD definitely has the advantage. He had time to prepare for Curtis Axel in his return, and he had the element of surprise. Curtis Axel did not know he'd be facing RVD here, as RVD off the kick to the face, looking to take this to the outside. And this is not where Curtis Axel wants to be. But honestly, I don't know if anywhere is safe when it comes to RVD and his offense. He can hit a high-flying maneuver out of nowhere. Even if they're not in the ring and there aren't any ropes, he can jump off the barricades, fly over steel steps, do suicide dives off the announce table. He could probably climb the Tron on the stage and hit a freaking frog splash off of that. But anyway, RVD with that style that he has, where he'll throw caution to the wind, he'll put his career on the line in order to put away his opponent here and put on a show for the WWE fans, as Curtis Axel goes to the outside trying to recover here, as it's been all RVD so far in this one. RVD now going to uncover the announce table here, and Curtis Axel now from behind okay, never mind. RVD now Irish whips him, sends him into the barricade, and there's a nice running bulldog by RVD, connecting off the one-handed bulldog. And now RVD, there's a big roundhouse kick to the side of the head of Curtis Axel, and Curtis Axel, he could be out of it here. RVD again with those vicious tie kicks to the face. And there's a nice spinning leg drop there, putting some torque into that one to drop the leg onto Curtis Axel. That is a vintage RVD maneuver right there. And Curtis Axel trying to run away from RVD, try to buy some time, come up with a plan, and try to get some offense here. It's been all RVD in this one. RVD has had the upper hand since the get-go. And now it looks like Curtis Axel off the hip toss into the ring, mashing the face of RVD, bashing it against the mat there. And now Curtis Axel, the Irish whip, but he pulls him back. And there's a belly-to-belly throw there. Nice move by Curtis Axel. Now Curtis Axel is finally getting the upper hand on RVD, finally able to mount some offense. RVD went for the kick, but Curtis Axel caught him. And now working the half-leg Boston Crab. The half crab is locked in, the one-legged Boston Crab, not the half-legged. Oh God, that would suck if you like ripped off someone's half. I don't know what I'm saying, I'm ranting here. Anyway, he kicks him off, and now RVD, once again, in control here. He's got Curtis Axel. What is RVD gonna do here? Trying to come up with some sort of move, as we don't know what RVD could be thinking in his head. RVD, drop kick, sends Curtis Axel to the outside, and we never know what RVD is thinking. With that style where he'll throw caution to the wind, another leg drop there by RVD. We've seen him put people through tables. We've seen him dive off of ladders. We've seen him dive onto ladders. You just never know what you're going to get when it comes to RVD. And now Curtis Axel, he's got RVD into the ring, and he's setting up Rob Van Dam. As this crowd has been hot for RVD all night. Curtis Axel setting him up here. Here we go. There's a perfect flex. Shades of Curtis. I forgot what his name. No, Kurt Hennig, not Curtis Hennig. What am I thinking? I was about to get him confused, but anyway. Curtis Axel shades of his father, Mr. Perfect Kurt Hennig, with the perfect flex. And RVD connects with the flashback neck breaker there. And RVD hooks the leg on Curtis Axel. One. And a kick out by Curtis Axel. As Curtis Axel now trying to stay alive in this one. He's just fighting for survival at this point. With that busted open cut now, the blood is going into his eye. Curtis Axel, I don't know how much this rookie has left, but here we go. Hooks the leg, one, and a kick out by RVD. I don't know, you have to say RVD, he is getting up there in age. Curtis Axel may have more stamina than RVD at this point, but still, with RVD's high-impact offense, I don't know how many more shots Curtis Axel can take, as there he connects with a snake eyes off the top rope, dropping him face first on the top turnbuckle, and there's a 2 count, and 3, and Curtis Axel gets the victory over Rob Van Dam. And despite RVD making a shocking return here, Curtis Axel manages to pick up the victory over RVD, and that's a big victory for Curtis Axel. He stated he's going for the Intercontinental Championship at Vengeance, and a victory over a legend like Rob Van Dam surely will put you in the runnings, along with his victory over the Intercontinental Champion Christian. You'd have to think if Curtis Axel wasn't the #1 contender before this point, he'd have to be now. Curtis Axel taking his time to celebrate a celebration that is well-deserved. He was taken to the limit by Rob Van Dam, but he still managed to outlast Rob Van Dam and get the victory here tonight live on Friday Night Smackdown.
Tag team contest is scheduled for one fall. Approaching the ring, Dashing, Cody, Rhodes, and Dennis Sandow.
And as we move on from that contest into this one, we have a tag team match here. Part of that tag team tournament to crown the new Unified Tag Team Champions, which will come to a conclusion at the Vengeance pay-per-view it'll be the winner of the tag team tournament. The two tag teams that advance to the final two will face off for the tag team titles. But anyway, we're going to start out here with the third tag team match in the second round. Nice double team there from Air Boom, and now Kofi Kingston setting up Damian Sandow for the boom drop, and he connects. So we saw in Raw, we saw the New Millennia get a victory over 3MB in the very first matchup, and then it was the Ascension getting the victory over the tag team of Daniel Bryan and Kane, Team Hell No. So Team Hell No and 3MB were eliminated, and we will see the winner of this match go on to face off against, well, actually, it'll be Team Rhodes Scholars or Air Boom. Whoever wins this contest, they'll be going on to face the New Millennia on Friday Night Smackdown next week. So that should be a good contest. As we know, we haven't seen much of the Rhodes Scholars in tag team action yet in this universe mode, but we know they're a good tag team as long as they're not in the real WWE, because they like to bury, WWE likes to bury them for some reason. Anyway, Kofi connects with a boom drop, and now it's Evan Bourne off the tag, going to the top rope here, and he connects with the Air Boom, the Shooting Star Splash. 1 count, 2, and 3 just before Cody Rhodes can break up the pin. Evan Bourne gets the win over Team Rhodes Scholars, and it looks like it's going to be Air Boom going up against the New Millennia next week live on SmackDown. And these two teams have a history between them, so that should be an epic contest. And wait a minute, that looks like it's Jimmy Uso. Jimmy and Jey Uso are supposed to compete in a tag team match in this tournament against Primo and Epico next, but it looks like we have an injury here.
Representing the Ascension, Aj Lee. And her partner from Tokyo, Japan, Kharma. Buffalo, New York, the Divas Champion, Beth Phoenix.
And welcome back to Friday Night Smackdowns. We have a Divas tag team match here. Rivals Kharma and Aj Lee will be teaming up to face new rivals Natalya and the Divas champion Beth Phoenix. We'll be seeing a matchup just booked by John Laurinaitis earlier this week. It'll be Aj Lee going up against Kharma at Capital Punishment. And it will also be Divas champion Beth Phoenix defending her title against Natalya once again at Capital Punishment. So that's two matches of epic proportions that we could see. We know Kharma and AJ, they've had their ongoing feud leading back to before Extreme Rules, when this universe mode began in the early months, the early weeks. It was Kharma versus AJ Lee in a #1 contender match, and Kharma ended up getting the victory, moving on to lose to Beth Phoenix at Extreme Rules. the feud between these three divas as Aj Lee joined the fray. Continued nice roundhouse kick to the face of Natalya by AJ. But as AJ then rejoined the mix, the ongoing feud between Kharma and AJ continued, leading into the over-the-limit triple threat match for the Divas title between Beth Phoenix, AJ, and Kharma. Beth Phoenix once again walked out as the champion as AJ had an opportunity to break out the pin as Beth Phoenix had the cover on Kharma, but I don't think AJ wanted Kharma to become Divas champion, so she decided not to break up the pin, and Beth Phoenix retained the title, and that has led to the match between Kharma and AJ. Kharma still has been furious with AJ as of late, but anyway, hooks the leg on Natalya and a kick out by Natalya. And of course, with Natalya getting a victory over both AJ and Kharma, you could, I guess, consider it 2 victories over Kharma as they competed in a triple threat match. Even though AJ was the one pinned, Kharma still technically suffered a loss in that contest. And now AJ, there's a kick to the gut, Natalya, and a big Shining Wizard knee to the face. And AJ into the cover, nice clothesline by Beth Phoenix. 1 count, 2, and 3. Again, another close call there. Beth Phoenix almost able to save Natalya, but AJ and Kharma get the victory. And Aj Lee and Kharma get a big tag team victory over the Divas champion Beth Phoenix and Natalya, but Kharma's got other plans for AJ, and Kharma with the chokeslam, proving that this was not a cohesive unit, and Kharma standing tall here tonight on Smackdown.
You got your rules and your religion, all designed to keep you safe. But when rules start getting broken, you start questioning your faith. I have a voice that is my savior, hates to love and loves to hate. I have a voice that has the knowledge and the power to your fate. I hear voices.
And welcome back from the commercial break here as we get right into this one. As we know, Jimmy Uso was injured before this contest, so now it's Primo and Epico. It looks like we're still going to have this match. It's the next matchup in the tag team tournament, Primo and Epico. We're supposed to go up against the Usos here, but it looks like it's just going to be Jey Uso taking on Primo and Epico by himself. And this definitely is not a good sign for the Usos tag team title hopes. We don't know how severely injured Jimmy Uso may be, if he'll even be able to compete, if Jey Uso could somehow manage to pull out the shocker and win the handicap match here. But still, we don't know how severe Jimmy Uso's injury is. So hopefully, he's getting medical attention now, so hopefully he'll be able to return to the ring sooner rather than later. And we saw off the commercial break, Randy Orton, the Viper, the Legend Killer, WWE's Apex Predator, will make his return to the WWE next week. We saw RVD return earlier tonight from a similar time period. We haven't seen Randy Orton since the championship tournament. I believe his last matchup was against Alberto Del Rio on the SmackDown Live Tour, once again in the earlier weeks of the show, of the Universe mode, and that was over almost 50 episodes ago. So we're seeing some big returns. John Laurinaitis must be coming up with some serious deals to bring back major talent. With Brian Cole debuting in the WWE on Monday Night Raw, RVD returning earlier on tonight, and now the Legend Killer Randy Orton returns to the WWE next week on Friday Night SmackDown. I wonder who he'll be facing next week. But anyway, as we got to get into this tag team matchup here, Jey Uso definitely at a disadvantage, not only because it's a handicap match, but you're going up against a skilled team in Primo and Epico. They're former tag team champions in their own right, and have to take them on a handicap match. Oh, Samoan drop! Samoan drop by Jey Uso. But to have to take oh wait, he hooks the leg. 1. And a kick out by Epico. But as if it wasn't a challenge enough to go up against a skilled tag team like Primo and Epico. Primo, former unified tag team champions with Carlito, and also tag team champions with Epico. So Primo, I guess if the strategy would have to be work the younger superstar in this one, try to take out Epico and isolate him, but nice leg drop off the top rope. But anyway, to have to take on a skilled tag team in a handicap match, the chances of Jey Uso walking out the winner are just that much worse here, just that much slimmer. And they're off the neck breaker by Epico. He's now setting up Jey Uso. There's a kick to the back, nice move by Epico. And Epico, so far it's been Primo and Epico in this match. Nice hip toss by Jey Uso. Is Jey Uso just trying to survive in this one, be able to move on to the next. They'll be facing the Ascension, so this would be a huge victory, but even still, if Jimmy Uso is not able to recover by that time, there's no way that they can manage to get a victory over the Ascension, but I guess we'll find out. That'll be on Monday Night Raw, so hopefully Jimmy Uso could be recovered by then, should the Usos get the victory. But even so, if it would be Primo and Epico against the Ascension, they too would be at a disadvantage, as the Ascension, Dolph Ziggler and his heavy Big E Langston, they've proved to be quite a formidable tag team, working as a unit. But anyway, now as we can see, the Usos in trouble here. Jey Uso representing the tag team, still in a handicap match. He's going to have to come up with something big to be able to take out Primo and Epico here. Otherwise, it's only a matter of time before Primo and Epico get the victory here. And Epico, Jimmy Uso can't afford to take a move like this, but he connects with a gory bomb. Shades of the late, great Eddie Guerrero. And Epico went for the stomp, but Jey Uso was able to roll out of the way, connects with the flying forearm to the face. And again, Jey Uso just working the arm of Epico. And now Jey Uso going over the top rope here. And he went for the crossbody, but he was unable to connect. Epico managed to get out of the way. And at least on the plus side of there only being one Uso out here, I can't possibly get them confused, because I know this is Jey Uso, so I mean, them tagging back and forth, I would probably get confused after a while on which is which, and I would get lost. But anyway, that's a good thing about them not both being out here, but still, it's a disadvantage for Jey Uso. And actually, I had things planned that it would be the Usos going up against the Ascension on Monday Night Raw, but I have other plans for that, so it'll actually be next week on Smackdown. We'll see the Usos taking on the Ascension, and it'll be the New Millennia versus Air Boom on Monday Night Raw, so we'll have to find out then. Oh my god, I just can't make up my mind for this now. Alright. So I guess we'll stick with, I don't know, just let me know in the comments below, which would you rather see on Monday Night Raw or Friday Night SmackDown? The Usos or, you know what, never mind. Screw that. We're going with the very first thing that I said. It's going to be the Usos taking on the Ascension. Or not even the Usos, it's going to be the winner of this tag team match. I keep forgetting to mention the winner of the tag team match, but anyway, it'll be the Usos or Primo and Epico taking on the Ascension, and it'll be Jack Swagger and Zack Ryder, the New Millennia, going up against Air Boom on Friday Night SmackDown next week. I mean, I'm confusing myself so much I'm not even mentioning the tag teams that are competing in the match. Good God, I'm just going to stop talking about the tag team titles, and I'm going to focus on the match. So anyway, Jey Uso, the Irish Whip to Epico, as Epico desperately needs a tag here. He hasn't been able to make one all match. There's a suplex to Epico, and Primo's just been isolated in this one. Has not been able to make the tag, or he's been isolated out of this one. Epico's been the one isolated as far as taking the punishment, and Jey Uso now at a point where he's just working over Epico here. Now he's setting him up here. He's got him up, just holding him up there, and a suplex by Jey Uso. Definitely not the normal style of offense for, on the part of the Usos, not much of a power team, more of the high-flying style. But against two cruiserweights like Primo and Epico, I guess you have to change up your game plan. And Jey Uso, he's going to have to come up with something new if he hopes to defeat a tag team like Primo and Epico in a handicap-style match. And now he's working on Primo here. As Primo getting involved, referee now at a count of 3 as he just sent Primo into the steel steps, and that really did some damage to the knee of Primo. And Jey Uso now, he's got Epico up against the barricade, and now referee at a 5 count, the spear through the barricade. Jey Uso just speared Epico through the barricade, and referee at a count of 6. Primo just standing by and watching. He doesn't want to get disqualified. Referee now at a count of 7. Epico, I don't know if he'll be able to make it back to his feet. Referee now trying to give Epico some time. That's 8 count. And now Jey Uso doing his taunt here. 9. I don't think Epico can make it. I don't think Epico's gonna make it. 10. Epico couldn't make the count. The Usos are gonna move on to the next round in the tournament, and they'll be competing on Monday Night Raw. If Jimmy Uso can recover, we'll see the Usos versus the Ascension on Monday Night Raw next week in the semifinals of the tag team tournament. And I guess that's one way to win a handicap match, is to get a victory by countout. Already at a disadvantage. Who can blame Jey Uso for taking the countout win?
weighing 323 pounds, Kane.
And Wade Barrett coming from behind, attacking Daniel Bryan from behind, knocking out Daniel Bryan. And after that vicious attack from behind by Wade Barrett, the assault from behind, the match hasn't even started. I don't even know if the match has started yet. But Wade Barrett getting the upper hand, attacking Daniel Bryan before the match. And I guess Wade Barrett, we saw him attack Daniel Bryan and Sheamus last week in what was supposed to be a main event matchup between Daniel Bryan and Sheamus. Well, Wade Barrett ended up breaking up that match. That match never happened, as Wade Barrett it was a double disqualification. I don't know exactly what it was, but it was a no contest. Wade Barrett attacking Sheamus and Daniel Bryan. But anyway, this is a number one contenders match for the Fatal 4-Way, this is a Fatal 4-Way number one contenders match for the title, and finally this match can get underway as all four superstars have entered the ring. And this is a Fatal 4-Way number one contenders match for the World Heavyweight Championship. It's Kane versus Daniel Bryan versus Alberto Del Rio versus Wade Barrett. And now Wade Barrett, there's an elbow drop to the knee of Kane. And Del Rio's been busted open by Daniel Bryan. And I guess Wade Barrett, we've seen he's had some definite hunger for this World Heavyweight Championship. Attacking Daniel Bryan 2 weeks straight. And attacking Sheamus along with Bryan last week. Kane, as we all know, he's had some big victories in what led to the triple threat match between Del Rio, Bryan, and Sheamus. Kane got involved as well, getting involved in that feud. Del Rio still definitely was not too happy about finding out he would have to compete to become number one contender, as he should have a rematch clause after losing the title to Sheamus, being the last world champion. But instead, that's got to this Fatal 4-Way match, as Sheamus, I'm sure, wants a piece of Wade Barrett. Daniel Bryan, Kane, all of these superstars want a piece of Sheamus, and I'm sure Sheamus wants a piece of Del Rio. I mean, Sheamus wouldn't mind defending the title against Alberto Del Rio. Kane hooks the leg, and Wade Barrett kicks out. I'm sure Sheamus, he would defend the title against any of these four superstars, and my video's lagging, so if the audio lags, I just have to mention that. I'm not using like voice changer or something like that. It just decides to mess up on me for some reason, so if it does that. Anyway, an ankle lock by Daniel Bryan, but Del Rio kicks out. You know, the submission specialist, Daniel Bryan, well-versed in submission holds, and an elbow drop by Wade Barrett. But anyway, Sheamus, I'm sure he would defend, he would gladly defend the title against Del Rio in his rematch clause. Sheamus is no coward, but another executive decision by John Laurinaitis to make this Fatal 4-Way. Elbow drop off the top rope by Wade Barrett. John Laurinaitis saw that these four superstars could be hungry challengers, and that they all deserved a shot at the championship. So he made this Fatal 4-Way contest so that one of these superstars would prove that they are the top contender over the rest of the field that could possibly challenge for Sheamus' world title. And I have to say, I'm really liking this main event so far, despite the underhanded tactics by Wade Barrett before the match. This is an interesting concept, an intriguing match between these four superstars all these four superstars have earned the right to be able to face Sheamus, but Barrett wasteland to Kane, and Del Rio's on the outside. He's setting up Daniel Bryan. Powerbomb on the outside. Wade Barrett hooks the leg on Kane in the ring. Too distracted, 2 count. And 3, Wade Barrett gets a victory over Kane. And Wade Barrett is your new number one contender, defeating Del Rio, Kane, and Daniel Bryan. Wade Barrett is your new number one contender for the World Heavyweight Championship. And oh my God, Wade Barrett, he's not done. looking to make even more of a statement. Send a direct message to the World Heavyweight Champion Sheamus. I don't know how Daniel Bryan got into the ring. But anyway, Wade Barrett with chair shots to Daniel Bryan. Hit that like button if you managed to make it this far. Thanks for watching. Keep on YouTubing.